speak through Fox News and let the independents who are tuning into you, let them know what it is that she stands for, the principles behind her positions.
It used to be that new candidates were advised to brush up on the issues so they could handle questions from anyone, even tough questions. The idea behind that was that it prepared you also for actually governing. But now the advice to candidates is only to talk to sympathetic reporters.
The Tea Party American movement is going to grow. On November 3rd, November 2nd isn't the end of this. It's the beginning of this, the reawakening of America and understanding what our foundation is and how America was built and how it became prosperous and generous and safe. And now we need to build upon that.
Wow. All right, let's move to Connecticut, shall we?
I sense a theme that will be continued in this Connecticut story.
This is a good
Go
one.
ahead. No, baby, if you got it.
I got it.
I don't think they've got it.
Mariano's
No,
got
I
one
got
pitch. Joey tells me he's got one pitch, and if it's a good pitch, you throw that pitch. Go ahead.
Connecticut Senate candidates defended their respective records in business and government in two separate interviews yesterday. Republican Linda McMahon was asked about the adult content of World Wrestling Entertainment, where she had served as CEO until deciding to run for office.
When you see some of that go on in the ring, the girl who was told to get on all fours, I think by your own husband, and bark like a dog. Are you comfortable with that?
Well, WWE programming has changed from being TV 14 over the years, which that's the time you were talking about, it was called the Attitude Era, into now being PG. Content providers are clearly creating scenarios. From an entertainment point of view, I think that you either elect to go to a movie or you elect to watch a program, so I'm a strong proponent of First Amendment rights.
Okay, let's just start there.
Yeah, what do you think about that, Mika?
Well, I've already expressed my opinion, and it is definitely my opinion, and I would love to hear sort of your perspective. I think that businesses have to be responsible and take responsibility for the product that they put out there. And if I understand correctly, the organization has kids and families coming to it and young people, and I'm sorry, but that's just not a product I want even available to our kids.
Willie, you're an expert in this area. Misogyny.
They're simulated rape on the
I'm serious here. You've written a book called American Freak Show. Nowhere was there more of an American Freak Show than, and I never watched this stuff, but again, you know pop culture. But didn't they like simulate rape? And here you've got a woman on all fours being told to bark like a dog, and it seemed to glorify violence against women and a lot of horrific things. And it's not like she did this when she was 20 years old. Right. All right, she couldn't.
This is her career and her business, and made money.
And by the way, let's just say she's got the money to run 30-second ads against Dick Blumenthal every 3 seconds because of that outrageous behavior.
I've been watching wrestling for a long time. When I was watching, it was Sergeant Slaughter against the commies. That was easy. That was good stuff. They do some pretty disgusting stuff. They've introduced, since I was a kid, now they have women in the ring who are hit, knocked down. They fight women, guys smacking women around. I guess the question is, that's obviously misogynistic and disgusting, but does that affect her ability to be a successful chief executive of the state?
Well, I guess Connecticut will decide. Do they want that person representing them as a senator from Connecticut?
But do you think that precludes her from being a good governor? The fact that she oversaw that operation.
I'll say that
Senator.
It reflects what types of decisions she makes. And these were business decisions. And in order to make money, she thought these things were acceptable or allowable or even good. I think she's got to take responsibility for that and not throw it off as a business decision. It is bad for our society and for our kids to have that crap available to them. It's awful.
You know what? If somebody grows up seeing men striking women, telling women to get on all fours and bark like a dog, if those images are being seen by 9, 10, 11, 12, 13-year-old boys,
let's think about how sick this is.
Bad things are going to happen with some of those children who don't have guardrails.
A circus-like atmosphere where people are clapping for this?
Well,
it's sick.
Clapping for violence and also clapping for the denigration of women. I only bring this up. I haven't talked about this yet, really, in great detail, but this isn't a close call for me. as far as, and again, she has the money to run these 30-second campaigns and to shape this campaign the way she's shaping it because of the just horrific business practices.
Seat in Connecticut had party strategists feeling fine back in the spring when their man, Attorney General Richard Blumenthal, had a 30-40 point lead over GOP rival and Republican Linda McMahon, seemed to have an Achilles heel as well. She's the former CEO of WWE, World Wrestling Entertainment, and Democratic Party operatives were pounding her with headlines about deaths in pro wrestling, money disputes, steroids, that partnership with Girls Gone Wild, and even a clip on the internet of her kicking a guy in the crotch. And now that the race has tightened down to a near tie, Mr. Blumenthal is piling on too. Take a look.
She took $10 million from the state to create jobs, but fired 10% of her workers. Her business is under investigation for failing to pay Social Security, Medicare, or unemployment. She took home $46 million, and now she's talking about lowering the minimum wage.
She is all in it for her.
The Republican Party's chosen candidates got beaten over and over again in Republican primaries this year by candidates the party did not want, and that in some cases the party actively and very vociferously campaigned against. Republican fundraising isn't really much happening through the Republican Party anymore. It's outside groups and campaign committees. One of the most interesting things about politics in 2010 has been watching the RNC, the Republican Party itself, essentially become beside the point. RNC Chairman Michael Steele was so exiled from the political process this year that he's been on a bus touring dozens of congressional districts where there is no chance the Republican can lose. Then wait, why isn't the national chairman? Oh, right. And when he's not doing that, he's being sent literally thousands of miles offshore to places like Guam and Saipan. But Mr. Steele's exile is coming to an end. Mr. Steele is finally coming home. The chairman of the Republican Party is being allowed back into politics, and RNC fundraising is once again a real prospect because the RNC is now going to host fundraisers with Sarah Palin. As first reported by Politico.com, Governor Palin will be at the RNC's Victory 2010 rallies in Anaheim, California next month and in Orlando, Florida. Michael Steele will be there too, but if you look at the invitation that's been posted online by CNN, you can see who's doing the headlining. It's the one whose name is in big blue cursive letters. The Honorable Sarah Palin. Did I say that cursively enough? The Honorable Sarah Palin. For a mere $30,000 a couple, you can get a private meeting with Governor Palin. So any average folks with 30 grand burning a hole in their pocket can meet the woman from Wasilla who went home to Facebook. And that is how Michael Steele and the Republican Party itself will return to politics, through the grace and the fundraising capacity of Sarah Palin. The rent cloth is mended. The split seams are sewn. The lion lays down with the lamb. And instead of some brave new Republican world, it just goes back to being 2008 again. We should have known this is how it would all work out in the end. We should have known.
Suppose Senator John Doe puts forth a constitutional amendment that would outlaw abortion, even in cases of rape or incest, and he asked you to attend the announcement and support him in that. Would you do it?
I would. Yes, a proposal like that, I would stand by it.
Let's be completely clear about the facts here. There is no place in the world and no time in history where restricting women's reproductive rights makes a people or a nation more free or more equal. These extreme positions on abortion are, without any question, a war on American girls and women, and the fact that there are women who are both complicit and participatory in it is really neither surprising nor unprecedented. It has always been true, and it is incredibly important that we recognize that despite the fact that we can be very proud of these women and as politicians, that the question is, how do women as citizens fare on the other side of them either being elected or not elected?